Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Naalala nyo ba guys, itong aking episode na to? Okay, I published this January 23, 2025. So more than a month ago. Okay? At ngayon, eto na, meron na tayong official government data supporting itong pinag-uusapan natin. Naku, umuubo yung anak ko. Yung pinag-uusapan natin sa episode na yan. Ang title, IRCC Application Refusals, Parami ng Parami. More refusals sa 2025. So, eto na. So, totoo nga. Kasi at that time, I remember, I think I was just sharing my observations based on discussions amongst consultants in social media, yung mga kwento ng mga kakilala natin. Sabi ko, mukhang parami ng parami talaga ang mga nare-refuse. At ito na nga, I will share with you the official data from the government. At alam nyo, ang laki ng refusal rate talaga. It turns out, 50% ang refusal rate noong 2024. 50% ang laki nun. 1 in 2. Diba? Ang dinideny. O, ito po ang report from the Toronto Star. Record number of people applying to come to Canada to work, study, or visit were refused in 2024. Ito po ang numbers. O, sige, dito tayo. Immigration officials rejected more than 2.3 million or 50% of temporary resident applications in 2024. I-compare po sa previous year, noong 2023, 35% nun. So, up by 15% ang refusal rate. Okay, the refusal rate covering study permits, work permits, and visitor visas hit the highest level since 2019, which was before the pandemic. Ito ngayon, himayin natin. Ano yung category na may pinakamaraming dinenay? Ito, tatlo naman yung pinag-uusapan natin, di ba? Ito, 1.95 million. Almost 2 million ng visitor visa applicants were denied. That makes up 54% noong total applications for visitor visas. Wow, okay. O, puntahan natin naman yung sa yung study permit applicants na dininay. More than 290,000 were denied. Or 52% ng mga nag-apply. O, dito naman sa mga work permit, ito ang hindi dumami, no? So, more than 115,000 who applied for authorization to work in Canada ang na-deny. Okay, 22% yung refusal rate na yan, which is bumaba pa nga slightly kumpara nung 2023 kung kailan 23% ang refusal rate. Okay, so dyan makikita nyo kung saan naghihigpit ang Canada, no? Gusto talaga nalang bawasan yung sa student, yung international students, tsaka yung visitors. Alam nyo naman kasi rin, pag pumasok dito ng visitors, no, yung iba, gumagawa ng ibang paraan to secure a different temporary resident permit. Siguro yun yung binabantayan din po ng Canada. And honestly speaking, guys, I don't think this will change anytime soon. Refusal rates, paniniwala ako, will continue to be high. 2025, 2026, 2027. Bakit ko nasabi yan? Because we're not seeing any signs of the Canadian government relaxing its rules on immigration. Sa katunayan, kumbaga, hindi pa nga natin nakikita yung peak ng sinasabing malawakang pagsialisan, no, ng mga temporary residents dito. Wala pa tayo sa peak. So yeah, and as we know, nakaset po hanggang ngayon, wala pang sinasabing babaguhin yung targets nila for 2025 to 2027 kung saan gusto talaga nilang bawasan yung mga temporary residents at lilimatahan din po ang tatanggapin na permanent residents. Okay, tapos guys, naghahanap ako ng information dito siguro sa most common reasons or grounds kung bakit nire-refuse yung mga temporary resident visas last year. Ito lang ang nakita ko eh. Sabi dito, more than 110,000 applications in 2024, merong misrepresentation o nakitaan ng withholding of material facts na naging basehan para sa refusals. Okay, again, more than 110,000 noong 2024. Ang laki na pala ng itinaas nun, ano? Compared doon noong 2019, more than or almost 27,000 lang yung nakitaan ng ganyan. So what does that tell us? Talagang binubusisi nga ng husto ng immigration officers ang bawat application, especially when it comes to misrepresentation, yan, and fraud, di ba? Sabi dito nung IRCC employees receive training on how to detect and combat fraud, and they work hard to protect the integrity of Canada's citizenship and immigration system. Okay, now interestingly guys, habang tumaas ang refusal rate para dito sa mga temporary resident visa applications, tingnan mo itong sabi dito, dumami naman daw ang pinagbigyan ng mga visitor record sa mga taong nandito na. Okay? Ano ba yung visitor record na yan? Halimbawa guys, work permit, hindi ka na na-extend, lilipat ka ngayon ng visitor record, para naging visitor ka ngayon. Diba? O siguro, PGWP ka, hindi ka pa makahanap ng LAMIA, or hindi ka pa naging PR, ayun, nag-shift ka muna rin sa visitor record. To me, people who do this are buying time. They're buying time. Likely, baka nga extend pa nila yung initial visitor record nila, hoping that during that period, makahanap sila ng paraan. Makahanap ng employer, etc. para maka-stay dito. Okay? This is not illegal, okay? I mean, ayan na nga, ginagrant din. O, tingnan natin yung data tungkol dyan. Ito nga, immigration data appears to show a different story when it comes to showing the door to migrants who are already here. Migrants with expiring temporary resident status are eligible to extend their legal status by applying Migrants with expiring temporary resident status are eligible to extend their legal status by applying for what's called a visitor record. The document allows them to remain here legally, pero ito na nga, hindi ka na pwede mag-work or mag-study. Medyo mahirap din, Sugal din pag ginagawa yan. One problem that could arise with this is, habang naka-visitor record, syempre guys, ang hirap naman na wala po silang pinagkakakitaan. Malamang, some of these people would be getting cash jobs. Yan, under the table jobs. Nako, mahirap naman po yan kung gagawin nyo kung habang naka-visitor record kayo. Diba? But, I'm sure, yan po ang nangyayari sa ilan. At ngayon, ilan ang nabigyan ng visitor record? Okay. Ang nag-apply daw guys ay more than 389,000. Okay? At ang baba ng refusal rate, 5% lang. Ibig sabihin, halos lahat napagbigyan. At ang napagbigyan dun sa more than 389,000 ay, ayan, 321,277. O, diba? O, ito na nga yung sinasabi ko, guys, Ang sabi po ng isang in-interview ng article, who happens to be a representative of the Canadian Immigration Lawyers Association, ang sabi niya, if you remain here and you cannot legalize yourself either as a student, a worker, or a permanent resident, a fallback solution is a visitor record. Diba? Fallback solution. Habang naghahanap ka ng ibang paraan para makastay dito at makapagtrabaho, syempre yun ang end goal, I won't be surprised, again, if those on visitor records are doing cash jobs to survive. Naku, pag mahuli po kayo, baka yan pa ang maging dahilan para maunsyame kung ano man po, kunyari kung gusto niyo magka-work permit eventually. I don't know, who knows, diba? Okay, now, in a related topic naman, guys, diba? Madalas na natin pag-usapan in recent episodes, ang paghihigpit, pagiging mabusisi ng IRCC sa pag-assess ng mga applications. And, tingnan nyo guys, naglabas ng press release o statement itong si Mark Miller today, March 3rd, talking about stopping fraud. Yan. Kasi, Fraud Prevention Month din pala ang March. Pero merong interesting number or data rin na binitawan dito. Alam nyo daw ba na noong 2024, IRCC investigated an average of more than 9,000 cases of suspected immigration fraud every month. Okay, and this led to thousands of applications being refused every month. O, diba? Na-mention naman yun dun sa previous article na isa nga yung mga dahilan kung bakit nire-refuse sa mga temporary resident applications misrepresentation, guys. Okay? Or withholding relevant information also. Tapos, ayun yung mga efforts daw nila led to tens of thousands of bad faith actors being banned from entering Canada. Tapos, ito daw. Naga-introduce din daw ng tougher penalties, including fines of up to $1.5 million for dishonest immigration representatives who help their clients with fraudulent applications. Okay, guys, kaya mag-iingat din talaga kayo. Paulit-ulit na ako para kung sirang plaka, no? Sa mga RCIC na inyong kinukuha, dahil, some give bad advice. Okay? Some give you advice na yun pala magiging misrepresentation ng kalalabasan sa inyo. At ito ang reminder, okay, ni Mark Miller. I urge all applicants to be cautious when seeking immigration advice. Only authorized representatives, sabi dito, can legally charge fees for their services. Ano ang authorized representatives na tinutukoy niya? Licensed immigration consultants, lawyers, or notaries. Okay? Pero guys, you don't even need them. If you think you can do it by yourself, mag-do-it-yourself kayo ng applications. O, diba? All information and forms needed to apply are available for free on the official IRCC website. Okay. Alam mo, ito ang gusto kong malaman. May sinasabi rin siya dito na they're also working to stop misinformation about the international study permits and application process and Canada's asylum system. Paano? Ano kaya yung sinasabi nilang misinformation and what are they doing about it? Are these the supposed promises of PRs? May ganun ba? Gusto ko malaman kung ano specifically yung gusto nila. Kanino galing yung misinformation na gusto nilang habulin, no? So, yun lang naman, guys. If you have your stories of refusals, no? Mga kakilala na inyo o sa inyo mismo, baka na-overturn, nagawa ng paraan din. Yung iba kasi, guys, nare-refuse. Just, kumukuha ng tulong, let's say, from a consultant or an immigration lawyer, na-overturn later on. Diba? If meron po kayong ganyang storya, share nyo naman dyan sa baba. Okay? So I will just end this episode here. I look forward to seeing your comments again. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!